Hello, I'm Rick Stivers. I'd like to welcome you to Young Martin's Reels. Today's project is going to be this Vagabond Model number 1 by Airex. It is a division of Lionel Corporation. Ken brought this reel to me in November of last year, and we're up to October now of this year, and I'm just now getting to this. I say getting to this. The truth is, I took a look at this reel back when it first came in. I was going to do a video on it, but the reel was completely frozen up. It wouldn't move. It couldn't turn. I took the side plate off of it. It had only had one screw in the side plate. I took the side plate screw off of it. The bail would barely move. The drag was completely froze up. And after taking the side cover off and looking at it, I said, you know what? None of this stuff wants to move on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it down with WD-40. This handle wouldn't move. I sprayed it down good with WD-40 and put it in a Ziploc bag. And about 3 months later, I pulled it back out. It was still froze up. Sprayed it down again, put it back in the bag, and basically forgot about it until today. And I was on the phone chatting with Chris, and I picked up the reel and said, hey, that's right, I got this reel. I wonder if it's ever unfroze a little bit. And guess what? It had. So I went and found a new screw for the side plate on it. And it's time to take this thing apart and service it. We're going to start off by taking the handle off. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and see if we can take the drag off and the spool. Okay. There we go. Okay, got that off. And it's rather interesting. This is very different from most of anything you'll see that we've dealt with before. This is your bail wire. Bail wire goes through, comes in here and makes a rather unique little bend. And if you look, it's spring-loaded right there. Okay. There's trip back. There's trip forward. None of this trips the bail wire. The only thing that trips the bail wire is the bump stop over here. As this comes around, the bail will hit it right here, and it will slowly ride its way up like so and trip the bail over. Okay. Now what I have found is if you try to do it too quickly, it tends to skip past it instead of slamming it over like it should. But yeah, things seem to be functioning again. You can see the old grease and dirt and stuff in here that is kind of coming loose. Let's go ahead, take out the screws for the side plate. Okay, and we've got to take off this post right here, right there on that side. It's just a little round barrel. We'll take that off. We'll rotate this around and we'll pull the pin out that has the other barrel on the other side. So that's the way those two fit. They go together like that. The short side goes up against the side plate. Okay, we're going to take out the axle shaft. Okay. Now, in order to remove the rotor, you've got to take out two screws that are only visible when the rotor is in a certain position. Okay, right there. You can see the screws. Okay, so we'll take out the first one. And let's take out the second one. There we go, and the rotor comes off. Just that simple. Okay, there's one screw. Where's the other screw? I lost a screw. Okay, there's the two screws. All right. So that came out. And there's not an installed bushing or anything here. It's just held on that way. Okay. And the bail trips easily. It doesn't actually have a line roller. It just has the smooth part there for a roller. I don't believe. Tell you what, let's take it apart and find out for sure. See if it actually does have a roller in there or not. I wouldn't think so as old as it is, but it might. I think it does. I think it does actually have a roller. Yes, it does. Look at that. There's a roller assembly. So we'll take that off and be able to clean it. And this side over here, we could take it's probably not wise to remove these two screws off of this spring. I'm going to tell you guys not to do it, but I'm going to do it just so I can get in here and clean this. This reel was in such bad, ugly, dirty shape to begin with that I just feel a need to take it down some more and clean these parts. Okay, there's that plate. And now the bail should be able to wiggle around, be manipulated until it comes out. There we go. And that should allow us to clean up this around the spring. And if you really want to go for it, let's go ahead and take the spring off as well. All right, spring is out. Oh, okay. That's the line roller. It's like, what is that piece? Yeah, apparently that slides onto the bell wire like so. And we'll clean that up good. All right. Okay, the only thing left now is we've still got an anti-reverse to deal with over here. And the there's the anti-reverse is working. You can hear it clicking. We turn it off. It should stop. We should be able to drop the main gear out. So I said this wouldn't even move earlier. Okay. There's our main gear. And here's our anti-reverse lever over here. And that's all it is. Just an arm. And we're going to clean that up a little bit. And there we go. I'm going to scrub this reel up real good. There's our clicker for our drag. And it is very sluggish, so it's not going to be clicking anything the way look how slow that moves. So that's not going to be clicking at all until we get that scrubbed clean. We'll clean up inside here where that rides on the drag. Okay. What is that going to ride on? It's going to be on the axle shaft. That's right here. That clicker is going to be riding. Look at how gummed up that is. Yeah, we'll have to scrub all that up. So we're going to get this reel all cleaned up, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. All the parts are now clean, so we're going to start trying to reassemble this. And we're going to start off with putting the bail on to the rotor. And we're going to start that off by slipping this crooked end over here, which, hang on, I got a little bit of dirt left on it. Okay, we're going to start off by slipping this crooked end over here, up and through here. And we got to maneuver it around until it wiggle. There we go. Got to get it to wiggle in until it's going to lay in there like that. Okay, and we're going to leave it up in the air just like that, pointing up just a little bit, because we still need to get this spring back in. Okay, so we're going to take the spring, we're going to set it in here. It goes under that arm and screws into these holes over here. So let's see if we can get it lined up first on one side, and then we'll worry about the other side. Okay. Okay, it's not going to lay in there without the screw. So let's go ahead and see if we can get the screw put in. Put a little grease on the screwdriver to help hold the screw in place. And let's see about getting our screw into the hole. And let's just do it this way. Hold it in place till we get the screw started. There we go. That worked okay. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll get the screw started. Like so. Remember, it has to be underneath the bail wire. Tighten it down. Like so. Okay. And that will trap the bail wire in there, like so. And it should be able to flip back and forth like so. And we've got to get the next part in, which is going to be this piece here. And it's going to set down in like this. And we've got to get the screws in for that. Okay, set this in place. Get the first screw started. Okay, got to keep the bail wire in position while you're putting these in. And that's going to push this bail wire right back where it belongs. And we put in the last screw. And let's see here. Let's loosen this one just a little bit. And see if we can maneuver this one into the hole. There we go. And it's possible I put this in backwards. I'm pretty sure I did. Yep. We got this in upside down. Can usually tell about things like that. If you put it in the way you think it belongs and it doesn't seem to fit, well, then you might want to reconsider how you've got it. And try it again. And see if there isn't a better fit for parts. There we go. I think you'll find that's a much better fit. Okay. And that end is bent down. It helps keep that end of that wire where it belongs. All right. Now we're going to flip around to the other side and see about putting this part back together. We're going to start off with this assembly. And it slips on over the end of the wire like that. And now it's going to turn around, get into position like so, and this is where the roller goes back on. Okay, let's go ahead and grease the roller. Slip it back on, and that grease will help hold it in place. Small piece, and it wants to stay in position. Okay. Or out of position. All right, slip this on. Rotate this around, line up. with the hole. And we've got this screw that's got to go in through the bail wire like so. Okay, and if we've got it positioned right, okay, that goes in the hole right there. Did you see it go in? Okay, see that post right there? It's going to go into that hole like that. And then you can go ahead and tighten down the screw. Zoom out a little bit. Sure moves freely, doesn't it? And we see I haven't even put grease on it down here yet. Okay, we're gonna put some grease down here where that's got to rub against that spring. Like so. There we go. Okay, now this base plate here, we've got to rotate it around to where these holes line up. Right there. See there? So that you can see them through here. Okay, with that done, we're going to set this back in like so and line those holes up with the holes that are in the base plate. And then we're going to put these screws in. And the easy place, I'm going to cheat a little bit on lining that up. For the one side, I'm going to go ahead and put this ice pick through it. You can use a punch or anything else that you wanted to use. Matter of fact, I'll move it to the other side to make it easier for me to get to this side. And again, need a little bit of screw on the end of my screwdriver. Who knows what we did wrong, or what I did wrong? You guys didn't do it, I did. We can't put the rotor on yet. And why not, you may say? Because we haven't put the main gear back in yet. Okay, here's the main gear. Okay, we're going to go ahead, we're going to oil the main gear, because this is a rotating surface here. We're going to oil that. Liberal application of oil. And before we drop that in, let's go ahead and put a little oil onto our anti-reverse over here and where the spring rides in it, and work it around just a little bit. Okay, now we're ready. Drop the main gear back in. This is where we should be able to tell if we've got the anti-reverse working. There we go, you can hear it click. Okay, and to keep that in, let's go ahead and put the handle on. You don't have to tighten it down all the way yet, you can just put it on. Now with that done, we can go ahead and put our rotor back in. Get both sides started before you tighten either one of them all the way down. Okay, it's lacking a little lubrication. So let's go ahead, a little oil here where it rotates through the body. And then let's go ahead and grease up the main gear and the pinion gear. And let's not forget inside here where the oscillation post rides. Let's slide it. Let's glue it. First, let's oil the axle shaft. Slide that in. Like so. With the axle shaft slid in now, locate this hole right here. And we're going to take this pin right here, the one with the barrel on it. We're going to slide that through that hole. We're going to rotate that around until it's near the bottom, and now move it around until it lines up in that groove right there, like so. With that done, we put the other barrel on the other side, and that should line both of those two up. Then on the case, there is a slot that barrel is going to ride in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and put some grease in that slot for that barrel. And then we're going to take that and set the cover down so that that barrel fits into that slot. Like so. With that done, we're going to put the two screws back in, side cover, all right. Okay. Still feels a little bit stiff. Let's see if we've tightened our screws a little too much right here. And we had. Let's loosen them up a little bit, get it spinning, and then we'll just snug them down once we line them up. Okay. There we go. Now, we're going to put a little bit of grease on the drag right here. Wipe the excess off. And we're going to oil our clicker right here and the spring. And then this just snaps on like so. Get that done. Let me get the line out of the way. And let's tighten down our drag knob. Hey, you hear that clicker underneath there now? All right. Anti-reverse is working. Take it off. There we go. Put it back on. Let's zoom out a little more. Let's trip our bail. There we go. Trip it again. Now, I did notice before we serviced it, if you did this too quickly, it tended to bounce back and not do it. But it seems to be working fine now that it's properly lubricated. It is a little chattery if you go too fast. All right. So, there you have the Vagabond model number 1 by Airex. And it's a nice little reel. I'll tell you what, though, if you ever try fishing with one of these things, they're dirt slow. They do not wind in fast by today's standards at all. It's really, really slow. However, if you're fishing an old-style bait that you need a really slow retrieve, hey, it's a really good reel for that. It's a great little bluegill reel, to tell you the truth. I'm pretty pleased with how this come out. I mean, you consider the fact that when it came in, it was dead to the world. Couldn't move it. There was nothing on it that worked. Absolutely nothing. And I really am impressed with how well WD-40 slowly but surely dissolved everything and got it up moving again. So if you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike button. Tell me what you didn't like. And for now, that's Rick Stivers of Young Martin's Reels, signing out.